It seems like back in the day, theologians and Christians were actually trying to answer these weird questions. And they also killed each other over these weird questions. But hope no one kills me. Although I would have already died twice because I did fall into the Arian heresy, then agreed with Servetus, the one that John Calvin killed. So I'm already dead, twice plucked up by the roots. If those guys are, if John Calvin and the other, what was it, council was on the right end of things. But I was trying to hammer this out, okay, because this is important. This is an important question that I need to know if I would say we as Christians, or if you Christians, I'd love it to be we, I'm trying to be a Christian. But if you Christians affirm, if Christians, let's just say Christians, if Christians should affirm this as the truth or not. And I'm trying to figure this out. So if Jesus pre-existed, was consciously aware, he entered into the world through the womb of Mary with all that past knowledge and experience and understanding, and having seen all the wrongs other people did and the mistakes they made and the end of them, and seeing the beginning, seeing the end of those that did righteousness, and having lived that life and had all that experience, came down here and then he lived his mortal life. Is that, he came down here into the womb of Mary and brushed out as a man and clothed himself with flesh, keeping his who he is, his conscious awareness all the way, from he knew back then and he knows now. Because if that's really what we believe, if it's what Christians believe, Jesus had a big advantage in doing what's right, and that could make sense of how he was like the only man that ever didn't overcome. Didn't fall, because he had a almost eternal past experience of how to understanding, and wisdom. That was like his own practical. He didn't have to rely on the Father for that, guidance like we do. He already had the perfect guidance in his own mind. But it's like this is a deep theological question that I do want to know, because those are two beliefs that they are kind of weird, and I'm not saying they're false, but I want to know for sure before I affirm them, that Jesus was a consciously already existing being, had eternal past knowledge, saw the lives of David and everybody, saw their end, those that did good and evil, and was like, man, I have all this knowledge. Now I come down here, come out as a baby, drink the milk from Mary, then I grow up. But the Bible says he grew in wisdom. So that concept can't be true, can it? That he pre-existed consciously aware and then became a man? That doesn't make sense, does it? That all that wisdom, what does the Bible say? He came in, then he forgot where he came from. He forgot everything that happened in the past to him when he was alive that whole time. And then it doesn't really say that. And so anyways, the reason that it matters is because I'll tell you why. I'm trying to tell you why. When you say Jesus pre-existed, that is what, I'm trying to put it in layman's terms, but that would be layman's terms of what it means to pre-exist. That he had all that knowledge and everything and came down here with it and then lived his life with that. But because he pre-existed, he was consciously aware before, all the way back to before Abraham, and consciously aware all the way through his human life. The eternal Son, okay? Eternal. He is eternal. Eternal past, all the way through his life, all the way to the end and forever. And if that's what we believe, I guess it's fine, because I'm not the judge of God of what's right and wrong and moral. I don't, I'm just saying. Is that what we believe? Because the Bible says he grew in wisdom and stature and knowledge, or something, I thought. He grew in favor with God. I knew that. He did grow in favor. I gotta go look that verse up. But I always thought he grew in wisdom. learned to taste the honey and knew what was good and grew in knowledge of that good and evil. So that's very human. That kind of, to me, denies this idea that a pre-existent being with knowledge, and before Abraham was, I was already there, consciously aware, consciously existing. I came into the womb of Mary, and then I busted out, and then I lived my life. Doesn't sound like someone that had to like grow in knowledge, because he already had knowledge because he was eternally past existing. And well, you said, well, he was eternally past consciously aware existing, but then he came into the womb of Mary. When that happened, he forgot. Did he forget where he came from? Because he said he knew where he came from. Well, how did he come to awareness where he came from after he forgot? He forgot everything except for where he came from. Like he said, the glory I had with you in the past, Father. Was he remembering living up there with him? Or he forgot like all of his knowledge and wisdom when he came down here? He shed himself of all that, but he kept some memories of the past. I mean, the Bible doesn't really say that. It says he humbled himself to be a man, but does it say he humbled himself to be a man? Or does it say he was made lower by God, made lower than the angels, so he was made a man by God, and he humbled himself unto death? Because that's kind of how I read it. Not that he humbled himself to become a man. I gotta go look into that too. These thoughts, man. Like I want to be a monk, like or whatever those guys were doing in the Ante-Nicene thing, where they sat around debating this stuff, and then some of them died. That would have been me. I'm the dead one. But I want to have those guys that will hammer this out with me, man.